So yeah, no, genuinely, when I was buying new gym clothes, this is lovely.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's new one as well, bit of basketball, free hoop.
Have you seen that new Gymshark? Like I was on about.
The joggers you were on about. Yeah, it's actually well nice.
Yeah. They're
It's
like
big,
Japanese
all
style,
over.
like baggy here,
Baggy at the top.
tight there.
I have to get some.
Oh.
What's this?
Sorry man, just try it.
Let's go. Oh, that's good.
That's pretty good. Welcome to the Peak Collective podcast. My name is Luca.
My name is Shane.
And introducing our
Muscle Shaman.
guest. And introducing our second guest,
Muscle Shaman.
otherwise known as Rob.
Rob, yeah, hi. Sorry.
It's cool. Well,
Okay.
welcome.
Hello.
How are we?
Oh.
This has been anticipated by a lot of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think this
Okay.
is probably the most anticipated episode, to be honest. So no pressure.
Okay, actually, to be honest, I feel a bit like pressure, stress.
Why?
I don't know. That's...
We just got hand delivered this.
Yeah. Thank you. No.
So let's start off. What's this?
What are we drinking? For those of
Okay.
us watch the intro.
So this is like cacao, which is made with... So basically, I'm a big fan of healthy food, herbalism, natural products, organic products, because I was struggling a lot with health in the past.
Yes.
I was going to doctors every week. They weren't able to help me. And then I started to do my own research into health, fasting, eating like natural things and so on. It's a long story for another maybe podcast, but you can always ask me questions.
You will be coming.
We will.
But basically I was on the medication, I was sick, I was having skin problems, I was having like allergy problems, and I was going to doctor like almost every week in high school when I was 16, 17. So my allergy problems were leading also to lack of concentration because I couldn't breathe from my nose for like 7 years. So for 7 years my nose was locked because I was allergic to dust.
Yeah.
And dust is almost everywhere. And it was very high intensity allergy. So basically a little bit of dust, my nose is completely clogged. And because my nose was clogged, I didn't know this for years, but later on my friend sent me some research, medical research, that if your nose is clogged, you cannot feed your brain properly, because there is like stuff in the air that helps you feed your brain so you can be more present, more focused. So I was struggling a lot with like lack of concentration, like ADD, ADHD. I was never like kind of certified, but knowing all these like kind of symptoms and what
You
is...
kind of self-diagnosed it, you
exactly, thank you. I kind of
Diagnosed.
diagnosed, thank you. Yeah, guys, you have to help me with English because so at some point I think I started to train when I was like, okay, so probably, I know that it will be first question, because training for like 2 years, I was eating whatever, like kebab, pizza, rice and chicken once I started to train. But after training I started, instead of just eating like processed food, I was more into like, okay, rice and chicken and broccoli, bodybuilding diet. And I already felt better, just from removing like crap, like chips and processed stuff. And I felt like better. And then I went also into meditation, which was inspired by like seeing these like Shaolin monks, training Kung Fu for 6 hours and meditating for 6 hours. I am like, wow, 12 hours of like mental work, because both meditation and training is like mental work. And I am like, and it's not like one example, there are like thousands of, maybe even millions of them. You know, in China there are like more than billion people. So I think maybe there are even like 1 million Shaolin monks. I'm just guessing. Don't catch me on.
We won't know. So.
We won't fact check.
But at least like thousands of Shaolin monks. So I am like, okay, so it's not like they are gifted or talented. You know, it's like more. They put the work in. You know, they put the work in, and they were able to. You know, what is for most people considered to become like superhumans, but they weren't like gifted. It was like through discipline and work. And I think that inspired me in some ways also to look into meditation, because I started to meditate to improve actually my training, because I thought like, okay, if I will meditate, and meditation will help me to get into more focused state, I will be able to squeeze 1 or 2 more reps, because I will be able to not allow my thoughts of like, oh, this is how much you can do, you know, not allow my thoughts of like that are putting limitations on my brain, how many reps I can do, how much weight I can do, and so on. I can just, with meditation, help like let go of these thoughts and just leave the weights, you know, and be more present with them. And actually, you know, I started to meditate like 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and actually meditation helped me with my allergy and my health problems. And then I started to look into like food as well. So it all came like my health journey and my meditation, which meditation led me to spirituality and philosophy and just exploring life from different kind of dimensions. And it all started with training. So for me, I have such a strong gratitude to physical training, because it changed me as a human being on so many levels. It wasn't like just looking good or being healthy or whatever. It really, from training, everything started. My journey of health, my journey of like my spiritual journey, let's call it, even though you shouldn't call it spiritual journey, because journey is like journey is a distance from point A to B.
There's always a finish line of the journey, right?
Whereas like
your spirituality
is happening inside, and it's continuous, so you shouldn't really call it spiritual journey. And you know, also traveling a lot was really affecting me in that case, but I will try to keep it like simple with the training, because I tend to talk about details and I can get off the subject.
Yeah.
Like
get you have with this drink.
Yeah.
So the first question was
okay. So
what is this? What is this? What are we drinking?
Thank you. So basically,
he's forgotten.
Yeah. No. Basically, after getting into health and exploring, I wanted to make for myself like a potion, or like a drink. Let's call it a drink. I call it a potion. It's more fun.
He came in giving us a potion.
That can actually, you know, elevate you, that can nourish you. So because I was really into health and this like organic, natural stuff and so on, I wasn't really interested in like, you know, synthetic supplements. Mm-hmm. I'm not against them, but you know, my body was always reacting in a bad way whenever I had something synthetic.
By synthetic supplements, just for those who might not know what they are, aren't much
like protein powders, you know.
Protein powders, like the supplements you see. My protein, things like that.
Yeah. Of course, there are some more natural that are, you know. I know that there are more natural protein powders.
The capsules, the protein powders.
Yeah,
all the things you see on the shelves and stuff like that, that's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
The pre-made protein shakes, things like that.
Yeah. So also, what else, you know, basically everything that you can just buy in a store and it's like more like in a powder or capsule.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Yeah. But of course
ultra processed.
Yeah, ultra processed, because you can have natural stuff, like you can, now I'm really into mushrooms, adaptogenic mushrooms, which, you know, you can have like powder, but this powder is a dry, pure alcohol, so you use alcohol to extract, or water, to extract mushrooms, so you boil mushrooms for a few hours, and then you get a tincture, or like a tea, and then you evaporate water, and then you have pure powder, which is like natural process. So you can get powder that is fully natural, and it's coming from like mushrooms or herbs. So not all the powders are like not natural.
Yeah, cool. Makes
and
sense.
again, like I'm not against like modern medicine or synthetic stuff, because I think it saves lives and it helps people. I am aware that I know some people, they had deficiencies, and with synthetic vitamins or minerals they were able, it was helping them.
There is a benefit from them as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of times people get into this zone of relying on them, not eating healthy. Oh, I can get everything from
There's always a pill for a pill, right?
yeah, exactly. So I think this kind of attitude will not make you healthy, or will not like help you solve the problems, basically.
So we're back.
Yeah. Okay, so basically I will tell you all the ingredients.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to have some, because I like to fast. Most of the time I eat 1 meal a day. Recently I eat more like 2 meals a day, because
that's quite a lot for you.
Yeah, that's a lot, because the amount of training I do, it's like I notice like my body is desiring more.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can spend like 5 hours at the gym. Of course, it's not like 5 hours CrossFit, but all
It
together.
might as well be with the stuff he does.
Yeah, but it's like mixed training. But basically, my body started to tell me like, you are not getting enough.
Okay.
And I decided, okay, 1 meal a day wasn't my religion. It was something that I was doing because there was period of time where I felt like, oh, this works excellent for me, and this is my own personal experience. I think a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people can try and experiment with that, but do research. Don't ever try things because someone said, oh, they are doing this and it works for them. Don't just believe them and do these things. Like, I'm sharing this so people can do some research about this and try it out. It may work for them, it may not work, but for me it did like phenomenal health benefits, and I started to appreciate more food. I lost hunger, basically, so I was able to go like 20 hours without feeling any hunger. I felt more energized, I felt more focused. So there were plenty of health benefits that I experienced, and most of the time I go on and off. There was like period, like for 2 years I was super strict, 1 meal a day for 2 years, but now I'm doing this on and off for the last 7 years, I think. But yeah, now there is a period of time where my body craves more, so I eat more and coming back. So basically what it is, is super high grade. It's not like processed hot chocolate. It's super high grade. It's called ceremonial grade cacao, but basically it's 100% cacao with fat, so it's not in the powder, it's like in the block. And usually it comes from like individual small farm, so it's not from commercial farm, because on commercial farms you cannot grow such a quality. And for me, I don't make it and buy it just for the taste, for the pleasure, but more to nourish my body with nutrition. And people can research that, but they will have to research ceremonial grade cacao benefits, how many benefits cacao can offer. But one thing is you can read, and another thing you can experience.
Yes.
And you guys, it's pretty incredible how from such a small amount you could sense that, wow, it's actually nourishing. It gives you energy and focus. Yeah, and then so I make the base, which is like cacao. Then I usually use oat milk. I like the way how it tastes with oat milk. I usually sometimes I use other milks, but oat milk is also easy to make, so sometimes I make my own milk when I have time. When I don't have time, I just buy one. I prefer to get like organic, gluten-free, but it's whatever people prefer. And then a little bit of sea salt. Sometimes I'm very specific, so I use like smoked sea salt. I like to pay attention to every ingredient to make it like, so it can be called potion, basically. Because if I would just dump ingredients without any attention into detail, then it wouldn't
be the same drink, right?
Exactly. So then I like to as well add some chili. as well. This is what you guys also like. And chili, exactly. So chili is not only for taste benefits, but also it makes it more powerful, that it goes through your system, like opens up, blood flow. And then you can add like maca powder, moringa, some mushroom extract. You can just play around it. So most of the time I use cacao, moringa, maca powder, adaptogenic mushroom complex, which is like 8 different mushroom: reishi, shiitake, cordipes, chaga, few more I don't remember right now.
So this is like natural hot chocolate on steroids.
Yeah, natural steroids.
Natural steroids,
and also you can add stuff like ashwagandha to it,
Yes.
And but if you look into ashwagandha, I would research KSM 66, because it's a lab certified ashwagandha that is high in the compounds that can, support your hormonal system. Because also, which is very important to say, there are a lot of herbs on the market or extracts that are not done in the right way, that people will not experience any benefits. They hear like,
I've noticed that with the ashwagandha, because I was on one brand like a few months ago and literally felt like all the benefits straight away. Like everything felt good. My lifting felt good, libido was good. Literally felt like my testosterone was going higher. And then I've been on another ashwagandha for the last month and like literally nothing. And the one I had before was a certified, as you said. This one was just like given to me. I was like, I'll just try this. I've had it with loads of other things. I think very often people have a herb or have a supplement and think, this just doesn't work for me.
But they don't try hard enough.
It's like
they don't spend enough time.
You got the cheapest one on Amazon that was £5. That's why it didn't work. You actually go for the actual certified. Did you see that thing that happened with Ryan Garcia the other day? The boxer. So he took this ashwagandha, but it wasn't certified, and he just failed a drug test because there was actually a really small dose of steroids in that ashwagandha.
So they just put that.
Apparently tons of supplements are like tainted with like steroids, and all this, but it's like such a low dose it won't actually do anything.
I had no idea.
But if you have a drug test, it's going to show that you're on steroids.
So for me, like any
just
herbs,
from a supplement that wasn't certified.
For me, like if I cannot get if I cannot afford or get the best quality, I just don't use them.
Don't use it.
So for me, like just because I hear someone is using them, I'm not like buying it. If I cannot get to the source, to the best kind of quality products. Same with like Shilajit, great supplement, natural supplement. But if you get bad Shilajit, it won't be even a Shilajit. It can be like tarp, so I would say any herbs. And also with herbs, it's so interesting because I had some that I didn't feel like, let's call adaptogenic herbs that help you like with nervous system, with stress, with physical stress or mental stress. A lot of herbs I tried, some of them like 1 month, 2 months, I didn't notice any difference. Like ashwagandha, there was time I noticed difference and there was time I didn't, but with other herbs as well. So when I was let's say I found one herb that I liked about, I was just trying 2-3 different companies and allowing body also to study, because I think some people genetically, maybe their ancestors in the past, they were using certain herb, so their body is like more responsive. Let's say if this is my just I don't know if it's science, this is my own philosophy, that let's say your ancestors, they had some ashwagandha, and if you get the right one, your body will quickly sense that, because there is in your DNA, in your genetic code, there is already information that your ancestors experience. But let's say if someone else had ancestors that they never tried this kind of herbs, it may require way more time for the body to study the chemical substance in the herbs, and this is something maybe that science has to study as well, because this is coming from my own experimentation, that some herbs I had to, let's say, drink a tea every day for like 3-4 months and then start to feel benefits. It's like my body for the first like few weeks didn't even like didn't knew what is in that herb.
I think you can relate the same with just like basic training and nutrition though. Like for example, someone that just starts training, they might not feel the benefits the first week, the second week, the first year, and all of a sudden when they actually get the physiological changes, all of a sudden now I notice the benefits of training. Same with nutrition, right? They get
That's a really good point.
They get the right nutrients in for the first week from eating McDonald's or whatever else, and they start eating healthy. Might not notice it the first week because nothing's actually come out of their system.
Right.
And then it's not until, for even myself, it was like this. It's not until like I did it consistently for a very long time. I was like, wow, my energy's better. I feel good. I get less ill. Allergies as well. Yeah, I think a lot of autoimmune issues. It's interesting. I want to get onto the autoimmune issues as well. To be fair, like you were saying about dust allergies and things like that. How long did it take you to like not get those symptoms when you changed? Like
so for me, what was the most powerful was fasting.
Okay.
The moment I did. So when I started to eat healthier, my allergies improved, and then I was also doing meditation, which was weird because I had no expectations. I was doing meditation just to help me with my overthinking. I was overthinking too much and I was suffering my faults basically because, like, you know, when you overthink about things that are not even happening but you are making them up in your brain, and then you just suffer your faults, you know. So then just from meditation and just relaxing, I noticed like my body can start to breathe. So what helped, just even doing 10 minutes meditation helped me with breath. Then when I was doing more like detoxes, like juice detox or, you know, eating raw for a week, something like this, that had huge difference on me with like skin problems and allergies. But the biggest impact that I feel is the most powerful, which is the most difficult, is fasting. Extended period of fasting. And when I did my first 3-day dry fast, so basically 72 hours no food, no water, it's called hard dry fast, so you don't have any contact with water, no shower, no brushing teeth. It's like extreme kind of dry fast, but this is what I felt drawn to, and I did it. And it's so funny because actually, so I did it, I was 23, I think 23 or 22, and after like 2 or 3 days of dry fast, and when I was in high school, I was 18, you know, I used to have like cigarettes and alcohol at the party and so on, and I didn't touch these things later on because I was getting into healthier lifestyle. I didn't touch alcohol I stopped drinking alcohol when I was 19, and then after 3 years when I did dry fast, it's so weird, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like in my breath something was smelling, and I don't know whether it was me that was making up this smell, or whether the smell was real, that someone else could smell it. I don't know, I was just by myself, but I felt my breath stinks of cigarettes and alcohol, and that was for me like, what's going on, like eye-opening, like, is my body detoxing from something that was 3-4 years ago, like still somewhere like staying in my body, you know? So I'm not sure how to explain that, but basically I explained it to myself that, okay, my body just detoxed, like healed from something that was staying there. And even though I was already eating like healthy, zero processed food, like for 2 years, like, you know, super whatever, and I was going on fruit diets for months, so I was like detoxing myself on the fruits, but still after eating healthy for like 2 years and just home food, cooking always for myself, by myself, no restaurant food, no nothing, and eating fruits because I was in tropical countries, so it's easier to get like
easier access, right?
Yeah, easier access to fresh fruits, you know. I wouldn't do fruit detox here, you know. And then even doing all these like different like detoxes and health diets, they weren't able to put me on such a detox that dry fast did. And from that, it was like for me like a proper eye-opener into researching even more like power of fasting and things like this. And there was point where I went super too extreme, but now I see this is how I was and this is what I had to experience to learn something.
And that's got you to where you are today.
Yeah, exactly.
What you do today.
So I had periods where I was just going super extreme with different kind of lifestyles, whether it was food or training or, you know, separating myself from people. but I guess that was my journey of like learning, where I had to experience extremes in order to get a different perspective of life.